aggression, playing deep in the enemy zone.
Well, it's one of the most potent offenses in the league versus one of the best counter-attacking teams. Dignitas against Pittsburgh Knights and Dignitas. A very awkward start from Dignitas. Pass all the way up. Missed. Takes the shot. And it did not take long.
Just 9 seconds in. Mist coming all the way from the back. Gyro speed beats out the first defender. And Mist, that last player back, rotating through, picking up that goal off the gyro pass.
And Dignitas only have themselves to blame for that play. Tried to overplay it, tried to get the mechanics going, and fell flat on their faces. They need to pick this up now. It's been a season where coming back from games where you drop the first goal has been so very difficult. Dignitas need to buck the trend. Gyro's now getting pressured. Astral wanted to look for him. Gyro does manage to keep himself out of the way. Missed with another long clear. Astral keeps that pressure on. Looks for another block. Once again cleared. Rails on his midfield. I think he's actually delayed himself maybe a bit too long. It's going to allow Dignitas to hold on to this midfield pressure. They've got the transition. They've now got possession. And they're going to look to try and squeeze their opponents to their side of the field. Shot on target. Mist pushes it to the corner.
Mist, all reliable, getting the block there. And we're seeing some demos come out on both sides. Some aggression. See if Pittsburgh Knights can hold off this Dignitas attack that's starting to form.
Dignitas, though, looking sloppy when it comes to their offense now. Chance to turn it over. Astral gets that one over. Gets it away from the defensive side. But unlike Dignitas, a lot of these plays don't seem to be going anywhere. That was a free shot. Dignitas very shaky our opening minute.
That pass from Mist almost connecting with Reddles. And now again, Mist rather, keeping this attack going. Pittsburgh Knights, they're in the driver's seat right now. Dignitas, they're even struggling here. That ball was dangerously close to bouncing in.
Should not even been within the vicinity of the goal, let alone a chance for a shot. Astral should play that one out, but Panda's not in position to take it back over. Pittsburgh Knights have all of the offense right now. They look to try and get that second goal. In a season like this, that second goal could be enough to seal it.
And this was the question for many of us. I mean, Cloud9 and G2, teams that finished at the top, world champions and the runner-ups from last season, were in the relegation tournament because of teams like the Knights. It's a new era, and they were the spearhead. And the question was, will they perform against these European teams? And so far in game one, they have kept Dignitas down.
Dignitas looking a bit better this time. Popped over the top. Reynolds gets a touch. I don't think he wanted. Allows Yukio to move through, but Yukio just takes so long to get onto the ball. Immediately hands away possession. Pittsburgh move back into the blue side of the field.
Certainly a different Dignitas than we saw against the Three Sins, who were able to take their time, get that space, set up the passing plays. The time is just not there.
Panda gets bumped, sets down, required some assistance. Astral moves himself in. Maybe a chance now to counterattack. Astral moving downfield. Panda and Yukio onto the left and the right. Looks for a setup, but couldn't make contact. Still a chance. Infield pass for Yukio. And it's saved by Gyro, but the offense now starting to look better for Dignitas. They might get caught on the break, though. Reynolds with the demo off the post and moves out of a shootable area.
And more demos coming out. This time Astral on Gyro. Panda, an awkward ball for him. And you saw that the chance was there for Dignitas, but how quickly it got turned around and how fast the Knights can get on the attack.
Whatever you know about rotation, whatever you thought you knew about Rocket League, it is looking so different in this game. Dignitas looking shaky to start. They've got better, but they're still trailing by a goal. Yukio completely out of boost. Needs someone to come and support. He's got no one around. Panda coming from an awkward angle as well. That's going to give Pittsburgh Knights a chance to move forward. Good challenge as well. Up on the wall, Gyro. Off the backboard. Will he set up for himself? No, gets intercepted. Missed by himself, but he can clear it long. Get everyone back.
Mist just continues to perform in his role. Staying back, keeping the Pittsburgh Knights upfield. Dignitas has been fighting out of their own half for a majority of this game.
Going to be off the backboard one more time. No boost on Astral. Someone's going to be taking into this. Another ball off the backboard. I don't think Yukio's got much either. And for Dignitas, if they lose this game, they will be so upset about it because the way they gave up that first goal. Another shot comes in. 2 goals for Pittsburgh Knights. Reynolds gets himself on the board.
Immediately following that demo, Yukio gets taken out. He was going to consider turning, but it wouldn't have even mattered because Reynolds just blasts that one top shelf.
For Dignitas, the options to escape just have not been there. Usually, it's just a light pass down to someone over to the left or right. Although a shot from Astral, not going to trouble the net. They're just not looking like themselves here.
It's tough to look like yourself when you have a team that is so aggressive. We saw the old guard of North America struggle against this playstyle. Europe hasn't really had to deal with these teams yet. This is their first look, really, besides the DreamHack events. But it works. The Pittsburgh Knights are the real deal, and they just keep that pressure on.
Ball popped up, missed all the time in the world. 2 players committed, though. That's going to put enough time off the clock. Pittsburgh Knights looking pretty secure on game number 1. And I'll be very happy with how it went down for Dignitas. Minute and a half now. Got to try and go to the drawing board and figure out where it went wrong.
Complete control from the Knights. There really didn't seem like that many moments where Dignitas might be able to get back in it. You just look at the shots. 8 shots from Mist, 5 from Gyro, 2 for Reynolds, 15 total to just 5 from Dignitas. Astral forced to play defense this entire game.
Just take a look at this. Now, here's where my main issues with this sort of play come from is, where is that ball from Panda supposed to go to? It's just giving it back over in a shootable position for Reynolds. There needs to be a better idea. Yukio was moving aside. Yes, he was demoed. I think maybe it was a case of he saw the demo happening and tried to improvise on the spot, but they need better options because they're taking so much time to escape their own final third that these demos are becoming even more prevalent.
It's because they just can't get the boost. You watch the players from the Pittsburgh Knights, when they're up there and they're being aggressive, they're also stealing that boost, which makes Dignitas play even slower, which makes them easier targets to demo. It's a snowball effect. And the Pittsburgh Knights, they had that game get out of hand for them where they just kept keeping possession, getting Dignitas down, keeping them low on boost, keeping them in their own net, and then even the times that Dignitas pushed up, we saw Pittsburgh get the counterattack going. Dignitas, they have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to deal with this aggression from the Knights.
Well, that was actually, I love that you brought that up there, James, because that's actually bringing up a case of Knights did what we expected them to do well, but they also did what we thought Dignitas would do well. Almost like they took over both sides of the field. So Dignitas, we're still chatting in between games. Let's see what they've come up with. Yukio, no boost for them to pick up, and that's another setup. Dignitas need to be so worried about where that ball goes after they try and play it out their own side of the field.
We'll see if they can start finding each other. In their first series of the day, they were passing brilliantly. Astral was distributing the ball, and they need some kind of spark.
That's a poor challenge. Puts the ball back onto the other side of the field. Open net. Rails has to dive back in to save it. Pretty poor play out, though. Astral looking to try and get a hold of it. Back into the midfield. Yukio's not around to try and take control. Instead, he's decided to wait back. Ends up being the correct decision. Up on the wall, no challenge available. Looking for the backboard.
But and he had Panda in the middle.
Reynolds just sat there, ready, waiting. No real issue.
Pittsburgh Knights, cool as cucumbers. You really can't tell if this is their first world championship. They are playing so confidently.
Dignitas seeing more of the offense now. Need to find the end product. Gyro only getting it as far as Astral. Tries to land on the wall. That would have been the quicker recovery. Not a great ball from Mist, though. Leaves Reynolds by himself. Good challenge is needed, and he does get that first clean. That's past one more. Gyro trying to hound away Vine and Panda. Yukio comes in. Dignitas get their first goal.
Dignitas taking advantage of that hesitation. You see Gyro trying to turn on that. Just couldn't get around the ball, and Yukio attacks him. And that could be the spark that Dignitas needs.
And this time it was Pittsburgh Knights that looked awkward on them trying to get out the defensive side. Tried to get another player forward, ends up whiffing the ball, required another player to come in. In a series and in a game where those one-for-one trades is going to be so important, you can't afford to just lose a player that easily.
Every touch so important, especially on the world stage. Gibbs was talking about it, how valuable a win here can be. Putting you through to day 3. If you lose, though, it is a gauntlet that you're going to have to run. And sometimes series come down to those single plays.
Ball popped up. Who's going to be first to it? It's Gyro. Ends up missing it. Allows Astral to move forward. He's on low boost. Just ends up powering the ball long. That is a fantastic play. Get rid of all the pressure. Only as far as Panda, but it gives a bit of time to get some boost. Unfortunately for Mist, it's not decided to pop up. And if Panda can control this properly, that might end up coming to cost them. Panda looking for the setup. Tries to go underneath, look for the bump. But Mist was privy to it.
And a great challenge from Gyro as he wins this deep to the Dignitas corner. That was really the first possession game that we've seen, and now the passing play shut down from Mist. Excellent effort.
Yeah, 2v1 for Mist, and he comes out on top. Great job to read the play. Now off the backboard one more time. That's a whiff. Astral open net to aim at, and he could not find the target.
Astral was expecting someone to hit that. He wasn't playing the miss. And when it came off the backboard, he had already jumped. He didn't have his second jump to use, so he was just floating there and couldn't get the power that was required.
There's been so few players that we've actually jumped onto their camera angle. I've seen that them being on at least 80 or more boost. Boost is at a premium right now. And in a game that's being as quickly played as this one, it becomes all that much more difficult to maintain. Now to the side, a minute and 40 left on the clock. Pittsburgh Knights this time, the team that is trailing, the team that needs an offensive chance. And to be honest with you, James, Pittsburgh really have not created anywhere near, well, anywhere more chances than Dignitas did in the last game.
You're right. Dignitas is, well, it seems like they're slowly starting to figure things out. They've had time on the offensive end. They capitalized on that mistake from Gyro. But can they hold on, and can they get another goal? Because, you know, these one-goal leads with that 0-second rule, Shogun, they are never safe.
Violent Panda for Yukio, immediately challenged from Mist, again making himself useful. Although Gyro does not look comfortable, Yukio makes it too. He's got his brace.
And there is the insurance goal for Dignitas. Astral getting up very quickly. And you see Gyro, it looks like he was coming off the post. He wasn't able to recover in time. He was just coming off that post, scrambling. And Yukio gets an easy goal.
How important is it this tournament, James, for Yukio to get going? There's been a lot of chat about him throughout this entire season. He got much better as the season went along. How big is it for them to get goals on that, lads?
It's huge. Astral getting one of his own. As surely it seems Dignitas is going to get this win. But Shogun, Yukio, he had a difficult start to this season. Especially that series versus Veloce, where you could argue that his mistake cost them that series. Yukio, however, later on, especially in the regional championships, started to play very well. He scored the goal that sent them here. So Yukio stepping up, that is the puzzle piece that Dignitas needs. Astral and Panda have been rock solid all season long. Yukio, if he can continue to play well, that is what will put Dignitas over the edge.
Well, 30 seconds left in this game. Gonna be allowed to drop all the way back. Good challenge though, rolling towards the net. Panda sweeping through the very last moment. Going for air dribbles. Air dribble is a very solid shout when you start heading into these final few minutes and you've got yourself a 2-goal lead, because this burns so much time off the clock. At least 5 seconds to get through. Gyro on the backboard. Looks like a set down, almost well, across team play. The own goal almost finds its way in, but as we do tick down these final 2 seconds, Dignitas respond, and they respond in a big way. This series isn't going to be a sweep like our first two. Dignitas taking game 2.
And we're starting to see the beginning of a slugfest. Pittsburgh Knights, they were the one putting on all the shots in game 1. Game 2, Dignitas started to figure some things out. They were avoiding the demos much better, and they were keeping possession, finding boost, and getting pressure when they needed to. And they also took advantage of some of the mistakes from the Knights. And you can see there, Gyro, you know, not so much a mistake either. He was just being harassed. Gyro, it was a tough situation to deal with.
Effectively got punished for that miss from Mist coming in. Just tried to go in, ended up losing the challenge. In those situations, you have to get contact. You cannot afford to lose it for free, because it not only means that you're getting the ball into your own side of the field, it means the recovery for the player that just took it past you is exactly what they want it to be. As you can see what Panda did with it, he decided to go for Gyro. And
that was the smart play. Gyro, you could see there, he was expecting the hit to come in. It slowed him down just a little bit, and that was enough time for Yukio to come in and clean up that play. So Dignitas, they're starting to deal with the aggression quite well, and this time they were in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. So 1 game apiece. Lots to learn of either team. I think we've pretty much now seen both teams execute their plans. As we go into the rest of the series, is now who can execute better, who has now spotted the weak links in their opponent's play. Because, James, Des mentioned it, this match is so important. You lose this, you've got to win twice tomorrow. No other option.
And you win guaranteed day 3. That is absolutely massive, especially with how tight things are looking to be shaping up. Every team here so good.
We'll be starting off over in the Dignitas side of the field. The first goal has been the telling one throughout this series. Astral, he's got Yukio as a passing option, decides to go by himself, and that's just the use. Astral might have that drop down. Heroic save, though. Keeps it away from the oncoming blue player.
Brilliant from Gyro. Astral had that ball read the whole way. Gyro knows that Astral's right behind him, so not only does he have to clear it well, he has to avoid Astral, who's coming in the air. And Gyro answered that call.
What an infield pass, though. Those are the dangers. Took a bit of time. Violent Panda coming in from the same side where the pass was taken. Gyro looking for the bump. That's going to be so hard to pull off, but they do pull them off well. Rettles fakes it out, and he's got underneath. Pick that one out.
Rettles plays him like an instrument here. Rettles, that first touch control, the fake. Astral comes off trying to block the shot, but it's a changeup. And Rettles, an incredible play to get the first goal for the Knights. That is what you expect from him.
Dignitas will want to respond quickly. Gyro off the backboard, gets the second touch, but it doesn't throw off Panda. Yukio actually going by himself. He's got one more to beat, but again, we saw this in game 1. He can take a little bit too much time getting the ball back under his control.
And Knights are probably the worst team to try to take your time against Astral. We'll take another look at this replay. It was a good touch to the corner, but Astral's already there.
Great vision from Astral as well. Spotted that nobody was back. It's the sort of situation where you see the ball played there. Usual response is just hit it off the backboard. Get someone else to come in, let them take the shot. But Astral notices there's no one back left. I can take the shot.
And if you're the Knights, that's not normally a place where people take a shot from. But I mean, watching Beyond the Summit, there was a pinch goal from Astral in the corner that was just as spectacular. Astral can score from anywhere on the field, it seems.
Well, I said that Dignitas wanted to get the goal back quick. They managed to do exactly that, but now they find themselves stuck on their own side of the field. Gyro looks to go low. It's low, it's in! Rettles has got his second!
They're just swarming in front of net. No one could get boost. You saw Panda had the boost taken from right in front of him, and Rettles just zooms in.
It was a temporary reprieve for Dignitas. Now they've got to get back on the hunt. Losing this one would put them at series point for Pittsburgh Knights. They've got to try and get this back, but missed. Off the backboard, that's a huge miss from Astral. Yukio has to scramble to save him.
A rare defensive misstep from Astral, but Dignitas get away unscathed.
Up on the wall. Astral, this is where he usually likes to play the ball. Bounces off. No challenge for a while. Very slow from Dignitas. Just drop down. Astral. Time. He's got a bit of boost. Not too much.
Oh, double demo.
It's going to mean that Astral's got to try and pull himself back. Thankfully for Dignitas, the play back to their side of the field took a bit of time, meant that they could reset themselves, but it's more of a boost thing. If you've got 100 boost and you get demoed, you drop straight back down. And we've seen how it is this series about how difficult it's been to maintain boost. That might be a bigger thing that it does to Dignitas' play than just disrupt the rotation.
It's about withering them down. The Knights, by getting those demos, Rettles taking those 2 players off the field, you're right, Shogun, put those players on a 3rd boost tank no matter what, and slowly the Knights can start whittling away and getting that pressure and eventually score those goals. We've seen Rettles get 2 already this game.
Try for a challenge. Astral gets contact, but no follow-up for his team. Panda's touch isn't good. That's going to give Pittsburgh Knights a chance to move into the Dignitas side of the field. Yukio tries for a clear. No power on that either. For the backboard, Rettles will be waiting for it. Looks for the drop down, but he's forced everyone else to move. Allows Mist to move in. And Astral has to take it away. Keeping the pressure on, though. Panda flicks over one. Gyro covering this time around. He was caught last time he was one-on-one with Panda. Good flick over the top. Yukio's not in a great position to play this immediately. Lays it straight off to Violent Panda. Looks at the backboard. Again, Rettles, though. Up on that backboard. He's either living there or he's living looking for your car to demo.
A lot of times he will be all the way upfield. Comes back. It's Panda, who wasn't even looking.
Straight back to the middle. Panda flicks up. But again, Pittsburgh Knights quicker on the aerial. Dignitas need to be quicker on the trigger. Here's Mist. Couple of options. Will he go by himself? Why not? Over to Reynolds. Huge save from Violent Panda. And now, it's going to be back over the side. Astral looking for a challenge. It pops out to the side. Yukio can keep this one moving. There's no boost that popped up from him, though. It's going to make this play a little bit more difficult. And you can see where it went wrong because of that. Breakaway opportunity. Gyro sets it up. One more time. Astral flicks it back down. Open net. And Mist will score it.
And Reynolds was so fast to challenge off the wall to get that ball upfield and get to demo on his way back. That put Dignitas in a difficult spot to begin with, and Mist able to clean that one up. The Pittsburgh Knights bring back that aggression and overpower Dignitas in Game 3.
That's just how small the margins have been in this game. That entire play coming down to the fact that Yukio couldn't find boost, but Astral, he can find the net, and he can find hope for Dignitas.
Incredible individual effort from Astral. Taking it by everyone. That flick just under the crossbar. And Dignitas, you know, maybe I counted him out a bit too early. 28 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time
for the shot. As Mist came in. They're going to need one more chance. 20 seconds on the clock. Astral gets it over to Yukio. It's not a great position for Dignitas to play. They've got plenty of time, though. Panda wins one more challenge. In comes Astral. Off the backboard. It's going to be on Yukio, but Yukio isn't in a position to try and move in. That might have just done the pressure, but Yukio for one more. Couldn't get it beneath Gyro. Now the ball needs to hit the floor. Reynolds looks to try and secure it, and Mist will do so.
And that was a great last-second effort by Dignitas. We saw them almost bring that back. Low boost for the Knights, but they still managed to hold off on defense. And Gyro, no shots, but two big saves at the beginning of this game to keep the score sheet clean initially. And Reynolds this game, he was brilliant. So many good touches. The go-ahead goal was from him coming off the back wall to challenge and get that counterattack started. Reynolds demos on his rotations back, getting his team chances, and then this play.
Filth. Just filth. You can just see he stopped. You can see how much they're celebrating.
He plays the whole team. That first touch, fakes the third. Astral jumps to block the shot that didn't come in.
And I want to point out just how many options Reto has in that play. How almost no chance for Astral, because you can go underneath him, you can take the shot to the top right corner, or if you did notice him just over in the middle, Gyro was there if you want to try for the infield.
You don't envy Astral in that situation. He was playing for a much harder shot, staying on the sidewall. It's much easier to block those fast shots coming in, especially if they're going to be aimed higher towards net. Reynolds saw the situation. He read it beautifully and just picked away at the Dignitas defense.
So Dignitas now need 2 in a row if they want to secure their spot at Sunday's championship games. They've got to try and overcome a tough Pittsburgh Knights test. And they've got to try and do it now. Gyro gets himself plenty of boost. He's going to have time to try and play his butt. Not looking overly comfortable doing so.
Seemed like Dignitas was starting to figure things out in Game 2, but Game 3, Reynolds kicked it into high gear. And he did what he was doing all league play long in North America, and that was just get in your face, get demos, and score goals.
Almost feels like that one was overplayed. Violent Panda. It's going to take a bit of time for a player to get back to net. Instead, chose to go for the passing play. It didn't come off. Now Mist. Wants to try and get the boost. I'm not too sure who got hold of that one, actually.
Looks like it might have been Yukio.
He was the player that was tasked with trying to clear the defensive lines. Astral again on that backboard. 2 players committed. This is an opportunity now for Pittsburgh to try and set themselves up. They've got time to get those bumps going. We saw that there was one being attempted on the back line. Thankfully for Dignitas, they were able to avoid it. But when Pittsburgh have managed to secure the offensive rotation, they've been so hard to get rid of. And Astral almost gets beat to that. I wasn't too sure where he was going. I thought he was going to try and go backboard. Turns at the last second and just about pips the offensive player to the ball.
And those are such difficult reads to make. The ones that bounce off the arc and come straight down. But Astral handled that wonderfully.
Remember how hard those balls are to play as well, because you can't afford to play it whilst outside of the net. You've got to give yourself either behind the ball or get yourself to the side of it. Yukio with the shot. This could be huge for Dignitas. They needed that.
And you saw Panda also leading on this attack. Looked like he was going for the aerial bump. Just missed it, but it didn't matter. Yukio getting to the ball first. Reynolds couldn't get that challenge. And Dignitas open up the score sheet in game 4.
And once again, it's Yukio that gets them going. It seems like his positioning is almost the most important right now. A lot of these plays are falling to him. Sometimes he's been there, sometimes he's been out of boost, sometimes he just hasn't been able to spot the rotation. It seems right now like Yukio's ability to read the play might be the most important on the field.
And when Yukio's playing well, that spells good things for Dignitas. But they need 2 wins back-to-back against a Knights team that has already shown us that they're here to play.
Gonna be played off the backboard. Rattles wants a second touch, can't quite get it. Panda respecting him enough though to wait for the whiff before going for the ball. Smart play from Panda, realizing no real options were around for him. Instead, make it awkward for Pittsburgh Knights. So the rest of your team on the rotation. He's going to be coming in late here. Missed.
Great
Gets it over
play.
the top. Now it's everyone trying to get themselves forward. Couldn't find the demo. And Dignitas get players back.
Dignitas fortunate to walk away unscathed there. Mist had such a good play in his own defensive corner to take that ball all the way downfield.
Rolls out midfield. Pittsburgh Knights not in a rush. They probably should have been. Yukio just tease it off the top of the car. Almost finds the net. Now it's Mist. Looking for a chance. It's going to be a little bit heavy to immediately come in. Now Gyro moved from the rotation. Forces Rettles to go up earlier than he would want to. And Yukio by himself just plays it to the corner. But right now it's not Dignitas that need to go looking for these goals. They don't have to spend every single player to get one. They've just got to make sure Pittsburgh Knights stay on their side of the field.
Astral's been doing a good job of getting demos on his own, coming from the backfield, which is something Rettles usually does so well, coming from the backfield, demoing players from behind, and now Astral will bounce this one in.
That's a sloppy goal if you're Pittsburgh Knights. Yukio just seems like he's body blocking it the entire time. He removes the option for a high-angled clear.
And there was also the team bump in net after that poor hit off the back wall. So the Knights, defensive misstep, Astral making the most of it.
See the passing option. Violent Panda was there. It's going to be Yukio's the last one back. Yukio's not looking comfortable with it. Drop down. Gyro needs to get his team a goal quickly and cleared off the line by Astral.
An awkward ball for Astral as well. He had to slow down. And everyone talks about Astral's ability to be a contributor on offense, but defensively as well. Astral is so talented. Can keep those balls out of net. We even saw it on the play where the ball was bouncing off the arc and down. Astral is a tough player to get by.
I think Astral's most important quality to those defensive plays is how well he controls the ball from such awkward angles. You put a shot onto him, you think he's going to have to try and struggle for it, and he just hits it once and then just immediately controls it afterwards. It can be so frustrating because then it's at least guaranteeing a challenge for his team, which he can be a part of.
And not only is he getting a piece of the ball, but a lot of times he's putting it in a very good spot. He's not giving rebound opportunities to the other team.
Reynolds over the top. Yukio wants to get a bit of an awkward touch. Astral also jumps. He needs some support.
He has one boost.
He's keeping it. He's determined.
Now he has 12. Slowly working his way up.
He's still going with it.
How does he even flick at that eye with nothing?
And more importantly, look at the time that's wasted off the clock. Those were valuable seconds for the Pittsburgh Knights. That's going to put this game out of their reach. Dignitas responding yet again, James. And for the first time at this World Championship, we're going to be able to see Champions Field as we go to game number 5.
Game 5, and you expected it from these two teams. Pittsburgh Knights and Dignitas. The Knights, after their DreamHack Montreal victory, their fantastic performance in league play and the North American Regional Finals, you knew that they were going to play well. Dignitas, after they surged late in regionals and then earlier today, put on a performance with some wonderful passing plays. They keep it going here. And now we've got game 5.
I've got to say, Panda's ability to play the ball in the midfield has just been outstanding in some of these games. gets a hold of the ball, immediately gets a good challenge for his team, and Yukio just has to get there first. But I think it's Panda's just control of his car after he gets in these plays. He never lands awkwardly. He's always still maintaining momentum.
And you know, it's probably the Dominus. It's the Dominus. I was talking with Astral, and he said ever since Panda switched over to the Dominus, he has just been insane. His car control, his passing, his shooting, everything has just been on point. And you can tell how comfortable Panda has been. His challenges were excellent, and his passing just continues to impress. But in this series, a lot of it has been Astral and Yukio.
Absolutely. So, game number 5, James. We've talked an awful lot about how Pittsburgh Knights don't ever seem to feel the stress. If they can get through this test, I think we can say that as a certainty, but there's no pressure quite like it. Being at Game 5, being at the tiebreaker, in front of so many people, at the world stage, with so much on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Champions Field, it's Game 5.
And I'm going to keep my eyes on Reddles. Reddles, to me, is that difference maker for the Pittsburgh Knights. His demos from the backfield, his shots, his impressive plays. We saw what he could do when he carried his team to a victory in Game 3. They need him now more than ever.
Going to be dropping out, Yukio. He's got time. Gyro didn't fully commit to that one, which was a smart decision. If he jumped, it was going to take an awful lot of time for him to get back into rotation. Now Gyro's actually downfield, putting a bit of pressure on Astral. Though Astral usually very good at trying to escape these situations. Yukio plays the ball long. Reddles now with the control. He's got a bit of boost. Looked for the pinch. Didn't quite get it, but plenty of distance on it anyway. And this is actually almost not what I expected from this. These teams giving each other attempts at 1v1 plays.
And I don't know if that's a risk you want to take on either end.
Reddles got one on Violent Panda. Now you can see him harassing Astral. Not giving him a single second to think about what he wants to do with the ball. And probably, after what we've seen from Astral this tournament, that's the right call to make. Now Astral looks for the passing play, well covered. Panda didn't commit to it, though. Means that they can reset up, give themselves a new chance to go forwards. Yukio reads well, back to the corner. That might be Pittsburgh's best chance to escape. But good pressure again. Astral on nothing. Now it's crucial that Reddles got a hold of that one.
And Reddles now upfield, only 6 boost. Nothing at the midfield. It's going to slow this down. Great chance for Dignitas.
Oh, it's just out of nowhere, but that's the danger you have with Astral on the field. You can get those slight touches. Pittsburgh Knights still trying to get themselves away from their goal. They've finally done it. Panda goes up late. I think he tried to bait the challenge in. Gets exactly what he wants. Astral clears, but he's cleared to nobody. Yukio's going to have to chase it down.
And that was a good place clear, or well-placed clear, rather. Now the shot low.
It's a major opportunity. Went for the infield. The bread and butter of Dignitas' play. Couldn't quite get it. Although Astral, he's got time. He's gone for the reset. Gives it extra power. 2 players committed, though. It's going to allow Yukio to move himself forward. I don't know how much boost is currently on the Pittsburgh Knights. We know Reddles is quite high. It's going to drop down. He's going to be required. He's passed out again. Dignitas have a lot of the ball, but they're not creating opportunities. Huge demo as well. Find a Panda out. Astral out. Nobody back. Reddles will get the ball in.
Gyro just eliminates the defense off the field. The double demo from Gyro, and Reddles can just take it down on the counterattack. Dignitas was building pressure, but it was relieved after those demos came through.
It was almost 2.5 minutes of all Dignitas. But your offensive rotation is worth nothing when you've got nobody left on the field. Now Reddles looking to be awkward. Every single game in this series has been won by the team that scored first. Pittsburgh Knights, if they can get that to happen one more time, they will be secure going to Championship Sunday. Panda looks to move in. Astral's been removed as well. That's going to really slow down Dignitas off the backboard. Reddles has covered these well for the entire series, and he's not going to make a mistake here.
Oh, the dunk from Astral! He almost brought it back earlier with his dribble plays, but now he's just getting angry. Dunks it past missed. And that was such an important equalizer for Dignitas.
They've got it back, and they've got it back before the time you would expect teams to maybe start thinking about the defensive side a little bit more. Maybe not chase that second goal. Dignitas have got it, and they've got it when it was most required. And now they might have a chance here. Reddles, he's only have one player in support, and that player was just demoed. Thankfully, that is a monster challenge that he came up with. Buys his team time.
Oh, the miss.
But Gyro's not helped out with that, really. Reddles forced to move back. Goes up to the wall. Yukio moving his way all the way back. Probably no boost in the middle right. That's a good interception as well. Reddles again downfield. He's just all over the place. You have to keep an eye out for both where the ball is and for where he is, because if you lose track, he's going to get you.
He abuses you for using ball cam, because he's always hunting for those players from behind.
Missed. Gives it a bit of boost, but extra angle required to get a hold of it. A little bit loose late there. 1 minute left. 1 goal each. Long clear. Gyro's not got a hold of it. Who's going to be first on the rebound? It's Violent Panda. It's 2-1. And Dignitas have got the lead.
Gyro's going to have nightmares about this play. Just misses that. It bounces off the post, and Panda will sneak it by Reddles. Less than a minute left. The Knights now have to fight from behind.
Now Gyro off the backboard. Reddles is already there, but Violent Panda takes it away immediately. Yukio comes in a little bit late. Reddles off the backboard, but you can already see Gyro's all the way back. They don't have the option to take the shot. 35 seconds left on the clock. Yukio immediately gets over. Do not expect Dignitas to just give up the midfield all that easily, although it's well set up, but Reddles forced to rotate back. Time ticking away, James.
It's now or never for the Knights.
All the way played down, missed. He wants to get downfield, but he's got to deal with this one first. Violent Panda. Don't expect any passing plays from Dignitas anymore. This is all about keeping the ball out of their side of the field. Time ticking away. One more chance for the Pittsburgh Knights. They've got it over in the corner. Another good challenge from Gyro. Violent Panda, another booming clear. Goes downfield. Pittsburgh Knights have got it all to do now. They've got to go coast to coast, put that ball in there, and they're winning overtime. And they simply cannot do it. Dignitas have taken the series.
And you can see Gyro just putting his head down on the desk. A devastating Game 5 loss for the Knights, and Dignitas get that win. That was a slugfest, Shogun. The back and forth. It seemed at times Knights was completely in the driver's seat. Dignitas trying to fend off that aggression the entire series, and then just a few mistakes on defense. That was the difference in this series.
And we've talked over and over again about how good the mentality is from Knights. But it's very good to have a good mentality when you're winning. We've never seen the Knights in a situation like this before. We know players like Panda have been through it. We know players like Tobaposa have been through it, where they have caused the mistake that cost their team the entire series. Tomorrow, the big question is, how's Gyro going to bounce back?
Yeah, how is Gyro going to bounce back? How are the Knights going to respond? It's a long journey ahead of them. But for Dignitas, this couldn't be any better. They had a very rough start to their league play. Shogun, you've been a believer of Dignitas all season long, but they came within one game from being eliminated. They had to reverse sweep Barcelona to even get a chance to be here. And now 2 wins back-to-back on the World Championship stage. Dignitas is on fire.
Well, the thing is, it's like the Dignitas I believe in didn't play that style. It was almost like they wanted to engage in the first 2 games with the Pittsburgh Knights and their way of playing. There was a lot of traded demos, but as the series went along, Dignitas went back to what was comfortable to them. They allowed Astral more time on the ball. They put Yukio into a much more offensive role. He played a lot of time as third man in our opening few games, but instead of that, he just all the way over forward in the field. So we'll see what they do further on the tournament. We'll see how Pittsburgh Knights do for the rest of the tournament, but for now, we're heading back over to Leaf and the desk.